A Peninsula man whose police officer's son was killed in the line of duty did something remarkable in his memory. He has used his grief as a catalyst for good. Sharon Chin introduces us to this week's CBS News Bay Area Icon Award winner. Hey, Sharon.
Yeah, Dr. Frank Merrill experienced heartbreaking loss 19 years ago, but what he decided to do about it is changing young lives today. When Dr. Frank Merrill looks onto an East Palo Alto field, he sees more than afternoon rugby practice.
The dream for us was to just make a difference, give these kids something that they didn't have.
That dream came out of a nightmare. Frank's stepson, East Palo Alto police officer Rich May, was shot to death by a parolee in 2006. During the trial, the defense argued the lack of positive activities contributed to the shooter's criminal history.
Should have been there.
After sentencing, Frank got to thinking about what he could do for underserved youth.
I can't solve world hunger. I can't solve world peace. I can't change families. I can't do a lot of things, but I can give them a field to play on.
So Frank and his late wife Clarice set out to build a field to create something positive and honor Rich, who is passionate about serving kids in the Police Activities League.
He was never one of those guys who was going to, try to fight the world. He was going to try to make the world a better place by being amenable to working with people.
The state-of-the-art Rich May Memorial Field opened in 2015. The Merrills and their supporters raised $2 million, mostly in private donations, and overcame years of obstacles.
When the lights came up and we turned the lights on, and that first night was the most glorious thing I've seen in years and years and years.
Today, 700 young people use the field each day. Under a unique operating agreement, the Rich May Foundation, which Frank started in 2017, manages the field that is owned by both the St. Francis of Assisi Catholic Church and Ravenswood School District. Rich May Field is also home to the East Palo Alto Razorhawks Rugby Club. The club's grateful for the affordable rental fee at $50 an hour, a fraction of the going rate. Coach Via Samt says having a home base is a win for membership.
The last 3 years has doubled every year. So, man, now to have a field that we can call our own, it's a blessing for these kids, and we really appreciate it.
East Palo Alto Police Chief Jeff Liu, who was a good friend of Rich May, says the community also scores in crime prevention. Activities on the field create a community of good citizens.
It took a community to bring this together, and Frank was the catalyst behind that. He was the inspiration, and he was the driving force to make this happen.
They don't even realize it half the time that they're learning, good behavior, and it's good.
It's just a remarkable thing that needs to be celebrated. Frank needs to be celebrated.
So for building Rich May Memorial Field to foster healthy recreational opportunities, this week's CBS News Bay Area Icon Award goes to Dr. Frank Merrill. Frank, a retired veterinarian, also volunteers helping the unhoused with free veterinary care through Project Street Vet in San Diego. Meanwhile, Frank and the Rich May Foundation are trying to raise $1 million to replace the turf on the field. Getting worn out.
Okay, already. But that looked like a really nice, I'm not a soccer mom, but that was a nice field.
That is a beautiful field. And in fact, in the very beginning, they set out to create a field that is as good as or better than any other kind of field that you would get, say, over the other side of 101 in Palo Alto or elsewhere on the peninsula. And they managed to do that, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah, and then to make it their own home field.
Yeah, that's so important for example, the rugby team that you saw there. The fact that they have their own home field means that they have a home base. They don't have to worry about renting different fields and wondering if they're going to have a field on a given week. And the fact that it's at $50 an hour, lower cost, also a big plus.
Yeah.
So doing a lot of good in the community.
Yeah, for a lot of people. Sharon Chin, we appreciate it. Highlight